What are the decks? Talk to
What
them.
are the decks? So Caleb Durward,
No, don't tell us about the decks.
Okay.
Let's tell them that this is day one of Grand Prix Indianapolis 2012, and it's round 5 coming right up.
And if you signed up for booster draft number 7, please come over to the gathering point at the side of the stage. Booster draft number 7, we're waiting on you.
So welcome to round 5, everyone. Rich Hagan, Rashad Miller in the booth, bringing you all the action between Reed Duke and Caleb Durward. There you see Caleb with the voice of God beard, as it were, and there's the extremely clean-shaven and likable Mr. Reed Duke.
I like him.
So Caleb will kick us off.
So the decks that we have here, Caleb Durward, he is playing a pretty much, this is just a card-for-card type of Canadian Threshold.
Yeah, so Rug Delver kind of thing we've got going there. And we see the first stifle action of the weekend on camera. Misty Rainforest. Wow, this is serious. Misty Rainforest, crack. Stifle. How about Force of Will? How about Days?
That actually shows you how valuable the 1 or 2 land that you have in your hand. You know, it's just that valuable. It's valuable enough to retract your land drop instead of, you know, just sending it to the graveyard.
That was savage.
There's a lot of value in playing around Stifle with your sack land. You'll see a lot of play my sack land, not do anything because you have a blue up, or I'm going first, play my sack land, crack it immediately because I don't want to get stifled. And back to the decks that both these players are playing.
Yep.
Reed Duke, he is playing a deck that has been called No Goyf. And it's not called No Goyf because there aren't Tarmogoyfs in it. There are Tarmogoyfs.
Okay.
But the No is the abbreviation for natural.
Okay.
So basically, it's a blue-green base deck, sometimes splashing red. He's not splashing red. He's just straight blue-green.
Yeah, Sheldon and I have just been talking about the natural order deck. No bans kind of
Right. So he is just straight blue-green. I don't see I don't see any white cards.
No,
there's a couple of lightning bolts, so it looks like he's Rug, No Goyf.
Sure.
And, you know, natural order is for Progenitus, which is, you know, that 10-10 protects you from anything. He has his own Facebook group. He actually has 2 Facebook groups.
Really?
Yeah, he has one that says, I've been killed by Progenitus. And then the other one is, I killed a Progenitus.
I killed a Progenitus. That's pretty good. I presume that one of those has many, many people in it, and one has substantially fewer. So we see an insectile aberration on the left-hand side for Caleb. We also see, more importantly, the combined sum of 0 permanents.
I was about to comment on how lopsided this game was.
Yeah. So I'm in favour of Caleb in this scenario. So let's say I feel things are going all right for Caleb right now. How's Reed's position, Rashad?
Well, Reed is he's feeling the effects of this card called Wasteland.
Right.
And sometimes Wasteland does bad things to you.
So Reed is at 12, brackets 9, brackets 6, brackets 3, brackets 0, close brackets.
And he's at an interesting life total. It happens to be a multiple of 3. And there's a Chain Lightning, which also does 3.
Yeah, that'll be 6. Yes.
Tick-tock. And I haven't seen Caleb's hand, but I have to guess there's probably another hot one in there.
Bit of spicy red action somewhere going on.
The 3 damage kind. He's got 5 of them in his deck. He has, you know, he's got lightning bolts. He has Chain Lightnings. And there's the extra Wasteland just in case, you know, Reed Duke gets a little bit frisky. Oh, the old Snapcaster Mage action.
Oh, and I just put a 3-point burn spell in my graveyard, which I'm going to bring back, and that'll be game.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Good job, Caleb. I think he's sure. He's explaining how Wasteland's a good card.
You are a figure who spends a lot of time off camera, Rashad, because you are in part responsible for all the technology that keeps us on trucking.
Some would say that.
Yeah, well, I would, because you are. So, if I wanted to give Caleb Durward the voice of God as well as the beard of God, Could we find a way to do that? Is sort of, I'm looking at a big reverb effect and pitch shifting the voice probably about an octave and a half down, and then it's like Easter Sunday, the Ten Commandments, Charlton Heston. Parting of the Red Sea stuff.
Give me a few minutes. Maybe I'll work on something. It might just be me.
See, I used to do that on the podcasts.
Oh, really?
When I announced the top 8 if you listen to the podcast in 2007, 2008, it's like the wrestling announcer. It's like me pitch shifted down like two octaves to sound manly.
Maybe I'll just use some sound bites from that.
And now, here on magicthegathering.com. It's like that. Yeah.
So I'm going to take a look at these players' sideboards. We're going to start with Reed Duke, since we saw the least of his deck.
That is certainly true.
Okay, so I'm looking through his sideboard. He has a lot of graveyard hate. Looks like he was expecting some graveyard-based decks because he has some Tormod's Crypt, some relics. He looks like he has quite a few cards to deal with that. He's got some situational counter spells. He might bring those in, Power Blast. He has a lot of other cards. Strangely, one of that I don't see being extremely useful. Maybe the Kitchen Finks. If he has a bad card, a card that just isn't good enough in this matchup. As far as Mr. DURWARD, he also has a lot of situational counter measures in his sideboard.
Tormod's Crypt again.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like sulfur element to it, but that's mostly for, it deals with white 1/1s.
Yeah. That was a huge card at Pro Tour Yokohama 2007.
It was.
That was a really, really hot card.
Now, the only card I really see him probably bringing in is the Submerge. Well, actually, I don't know. You know what? Caleb didn't see a lot of Reed Duke's deck, so maybe the only cards he saw were the cards that were discarded. I didn't pay a great deal of attention to what those cards were, so I don't know exactly how much Caleb knows. But if he saw, say, a Tarmogoyf, maybe he brings in his Submerge. If he saw a series...
he saw a Green Sun Zenith being discarded. I do not believe he saw a Tarmogoyf at any point.
Yeah, and the only other option that Caleb really has in his sideboard is to transform it to like a counterbalance top deck. And that doesn't seem like a great answer to Green Sun Zenith because you get to pick how much that one costs.
It's interesting how we've talked a lot already today about creatures that are going to be quote cheated into play, i.e. you don't pay their full mana cost. And it's interesting that Submerge is a spell that operates in the same way. Submerge, it costs 5. Oh wait, no, it actually doesn't.
5 is actually the alternate casting cost.
Yeah, sure. When insignificant fits, yeah.
But there are some stipulations. Your opponent needs to control forest.
Which was obviously one of the downsides for Caleb in that last game that Reed just didn't control any land at all.
Yeah, maybe he just won't bring that in if he's got Reed Duke on the 0 land deck. I mean, you only have 1 land in your deck, and it wasn't a forest. I think it was a volcanic.
It was, yeah. Kind of awkward.
All right, so here we go. Oh, we're still shuffling. Got to be thorough. Got to be thorough with the shuffles, Caleb. We don't want what happened last game to happen again. Or maybe he does want.
I was going to say, he'd be fine with that, I think. Yeah, it was interesting reading Caleb's thoughts on the format. He writes regularly on Legacy. Seems to really know what's going on.
No, he is a Legacy player. I feel like his great Legacy finishes, including the GP in Columbus, is what really got him on the pro, sort of on the train, able to play other formats at a professional level. So, I think at heart, he's a Legacy player. He's had some success in other formats, but this is where he likes to be.
Look at that. More action in Game 2 already.
A spell. A second spell. Well,
Yeah.
But, we could be tied for action. We see a wasteland and not another land.
So he keeps them on top. Volcanic Island, Pond of Resolves, keep it on top, draw. Over to you, Caleb, who has Misty Rainforest.
Looks like he brought in the Submerged, so he did see enough of Caleb's discard pile or graveyard to understand that it would be good.
So there's Relic of Progenitus.
It's pretty good at shutting off
Out of the board.
Tarmogoyfs. Nimble Mongoose, which is in Caleb's deck, which is actually a pretty big problem against, a lot of the spot removal based,
Sure.
answers that people have in their decks. 3/3 untargetable. Shroud.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard to deal with. Or you could change it to a 1/1 with your Relic.
Next European Grand Prix is in Turin. I'm really looking forward to doing the Turin hexproof joke.
Is that, that's, tell me the joke. I guess it's whizzing over my head.
Turin Shroud. No longer the Turin Shroud, it's the Turin hexproof. You're killing me, Richard, you're killing me. It's just a throwaway line, don't make me explain it any further.
I don't know what to do.
Face of Jesus.
I don't know what to do.
On a cloth.
Or,
Turin Shroud.
oh, I get it now.
And then there's a magic reference with Shroud and hexproof.
No, I get it.
Okay. So here in Legacy in round 5.
Looks like that Relic is going to town. 0 cards in Caleb's graveyard. Not sure that it matters right now.
Yep. By going to town, you mean it turns sideways once? Hey, look at me! I'm a Relic of Progenitus.
That's the town.
Sideways.
That's the town that Relic of Progenitus goes to. That's where. That's
Okay.
It's Friday night. Work is done. He just got paid. He turns sideways. That's what the Relic does.
Where you headed? I'm heading to Tap Town. Yeah.
There we go, Delver.
Okay.
So now we see a little bit of the reversal in the how much mana can you draw phase of the game. Looks like a lightning bolt just got rid of the Delver. Another interesting interaction, we used a Misty Rainforest to go fetch up a Dryad Arbor, which is not only a forest, but a 1/1 Dryad creature. So we might be seeing a turn 4 natural order. I didn't see what was in Reduce's hand, but...
Progenitus.
Or maybe it would just... We might just be going for the beats. The 1/1 beats.
Sure. Oh.
Ooh.
Submerge.
That's a spicy one.
So let's argue about that. Let's have a daze. Caleb is going to daze back. And Dryad Arbor goes to the top of Reed Duke's library.
Not only does that, get rid of the Dryad Arbor from play, he's set back 2 turns from actually getting, the 4 mana that it takes to cast a natural order. Because, Reed was threatening natural order next turn.
Yep.
Now, Caleb has a few turns to, lightning bolt someone's land.
Players who signed up for Commander
Which is
number
what just
6.
happened.
You're ready to
The Dryad Arbor goes to the graveyard.
which is to
So now Reed is back down to 1 land.
Again,
And he
we're
scratches
ready to
his
Commander
chin.
number 6. Here's the side of that stage.
So the Relic continues to do its thing.
Go to town. Continues to go to town on Caleb Durwood's graveyard.
Unleash some whoop-ass. Or something.
I don't think you can say whoop.
No?
No.
Okay.
We're not going to say whoop anymore.
Okay.
Not even then. Okay, so we're going to crack a Scalding Tarn. Probably get some dual land. Whatever he needs. Tropical Island. Is there a Tarmogoyf in the future? Just a Nimble Mongoose. Not at Threshold. A little ways from
Indeed.
Threshold. Probably not going to be a factor this
No,
game.
one would imagine.
Down to 2 cards in his graveyard. Never going to get Threshold. Nice 1/1 Shroud.
Caleb's still got 4 cards in hand, draws up to 5. It's got a lightning bolt in hand.
Looks like he also has a... What was that other red card? We're catching it again on the... Oh, forked
Bolt?
Yeah, forked bolt.
So a second.
And one blue. He has a
one
predict
base.
also. Predict has a lot of interesting interactions with cards already in a lot of these legacy decks.
Okay.
You could see, you know, players pondering and brainstorming and then using the predict on themselves, and then they're basically drawing 2 cards. I believe you draw a card, and if you predict the actual card that's on top of your library, you get 1 more card.
Yep, so name a card, then put the top card of target player's library into his or her graveyard. If that card is the named card, you draw 2 cards.
Yeah, so you
Otherwise,
get to draw
you
3.
draw a card.
Right. Okay. So that's just the interaction with the cards in Caleb's deck. Let's say he was playing against a deck with Enlightened Tutor.
Okay.
And the turn Enlightened Tutor for my combo piece.
Yep.
Whoa. Before you get to drawing that card, I have some effects. I think I know what the top card of your library is.
I have a little suspicion.
Yep, let's get that card, put it in the graveyard, and I'm going to draw 2.
Nice.
There's Goblin Guide.
Yes, indeed.
Goblin Guide. Not in play, but another interaction with Predict.
Mm-hmm.
None of those are in this game. But there is the said Predict. I think this may be a blind Predict, because I haven't seen any cards that will let them know what's going on. A little bit of conversation.
And
see how many cards he
there's
draws.
a Snapcaster
Yep.
that went away.
Looks like a blind Predict. He just drew a
Yep.
card. Just cycled it.
So still plenty of cards for Caleb, and really Reed doing very little in the match thus far. 2 Nimble Mongoose. Chain Lightning from Caleb.
Would you like to chain it back?
No, says Reed.
He might be. Maybe he's going to get a red. Is it 1 red or 2? I think it's 1 red to... It might be 2 red to bounce chain lightning. I want to say 1, but I feel like it should be 2.
Yep, double red. Then that player or that creature's controller may pay red.
So this is basically a free bounce back because Caleb doesn't have red to bounce back again, but looks like Reed's just going to skip that and
Head out into Click. Delay Click.
Sean.
Legendary.
Yes.
That's quite important. It's slightly counterintuitively as well. It's not something you...
It doesn't seem very legendary either.
Players,
I feel like I had a couple of Mendelian Clicks out. Sounds like a perfectly reasonable...
Yeah, he doesn't sound like a one-of-a-kind being.
To the gathering point, to the left of the side of the stage.
Maybe it was Vendilion, the Click. No? Well, anyway, we're looking at 2 lightning bolts in the full court. Bolt. 1 lightning bolt bites the dust.
In exchange for something else.
Secret card. Ponder. Another card good with Predict. Relic eats a Chain Lightning.
4 cards left in Caleb's graveyard. You know, he's edging towards Threshold.
Slowly
He
but
keeps-
surely. But Reduke always has
The option to
Yeah.
just blow up the non-world.
so lightning bolt hits the Kitchen Finks. Is going to come back with a -1/-1 counter. Reduke's making 2 more life. 15 life for Reduke, 17 for Caleb. Caleb draws a card. Looks like he has a Delver.
And this is a really good example of how Legacy can be, when I say drawn out, I don't mean that in a bad way, but just there's plenty going on. The game has gone deep. We've seen plenty of cards on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, Legacy.
Life totals are still high.
Yeah, Legacy's a grindy format. A lot of the games grind out to time, and the players are in turn 12 or 13, and they both sit they're both sitting with like 3 land in play. And you would wonder, you know, if you're not familiar with the format, how long are they going to play it? And, you know, they have their 2 land out, and they're perfectly happy. That 3rd and 4th land they drew, they're upset about because they're flooded now, and their 21 land decks. And, you know, you look at the graveyard, that's where all the action is. All these 1 and 2 cancel spells, sorceries, instants, creatures, everything costs 1 or 2.
And there goes the graveyard because Caleb got to 7. So momentarily, there was threshold.
Now there's a lot of nothing, and we're reverted to 1/1 Nimble Mongoose. Wizard Mongoose.
So I'm going to draw a card.
I think if anyone would know, it should be you.
Thank you.
And whatever, you're welcome. And whatever you say
really
right now,
flattered.
whatever you say right now will be the way that I personally will refer to, you know, multiples of that card. Mongoose.
I'm only doing that because you've just announced today you're going to call them that henceforward.
Yeah, so we have 2 Mongeist and a Delver Secrets for Caleb Durward, and we have 4 land for Reed Duke. No green creatures. Looks like Noble Hierarch is going to hit the battlefield, which gives him a green creature if he's able to draw a natural order.
So there's a Noble Hierarch. First bit of Exalted we've seen from Reed, and then he reaches out with a Flame Slash.
Out of the sideboard, 4
Yep.
damage to target creature.
That looks like a pretty foil version.
I think if you're going to play Legacy and you're going to play Flame Slash, and there's a 1/of, it better be foil.
Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Pyroblast. Now from Reed.
Yeah, on the ponder. We don't want you seeing any more cards. You're off the top, just like me, pal. Well, he's not really off the
So
top.
attack for 1. And now Tarmogoyf. Now we're at the point where that's reasonably sized. What we got? We got land, creature, instant sorcery.
4/5. The biggest thing on the board right now. Faltstone's Nimble Mongeist. Did I say it right? Do you even remember what I'm supposed to say? How I'm supposed to say it?
I remember that that's what you're supposed to say.
Was that right? Okay, well there.
You mispronounced it perfectly. Yes. So Hierarch and Tarmogoyf up against 2 Nimble Mongoose.
Douglas Henrian, who signed up for standard winner box number 7.
See a
Your event is
Submerge
waiting for
and a
you.
Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf deals with Tarmogoyf very well. Unfortunately, there's a Noble Hierarch and an Exalted trigger,
Yes.
which makes it more of a double block with the Mongeist. I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
I was going to say,
I can't do it
I
anymore.
knew you couldn't stick that one.
Yeah. One for Hagen, 0 for Miller. Caleb has a submerge on the top of his library. He's going to draw it. So now that can make combat a little bit tricky if Reduke decides to attack. Or block. Although blocking isn't really beneficial. It's advantageous, you know. Tarmogoyf on Tarmogoyf combat
Doesn't generally do an awful lot.
We're just going to main phase the submerge.
So Reed picks up his cards to at least represent thinking about it. And there goes, okay, it's gone. And then smash. So Hierarch is going to get in the way. 5 cards in Caleb's graveyard. Remember, 7 is the magic number.
And you can go from 5 to 7 with 1 draw off the top of the deck easily. But I know that this isn't land, so it's not going to get in there. I think it might be a fetch land, which will get him halfway there. I can't remember which land it was. Anyhow,
Here I go again.
We're all in. So we're gonna play the Tarmogoyf bounce. That old dance is gonna take 2, go to 6, and Lightning Bolt's gonna finish off Caleb's Tarmogoyf. So now we have a Tarmogoyf versus 2 Mongoose.
Yeah, that was pretty important for Reed because he was in danger of just being beaten down by enough. CAJ Sucker in the background there, and Christian Calcano.
Reed still looks a little bit worried about the situation.
Well, I mean, he is at 6.
But now it has a Vanillion Click and a Tarmogoyf versus two Nimble Mongoose. I'm just going to call it a Nimble Mongoose and put the number in front.
Sure, but don't forget that Caleb has plenty of burn sitting around.
Right.
And
Six-
Reed has sixes, isn't going to go up
Yeah.
for Reed. He's not going to suddenly.
Up his one kitchen finks is gone. He's gained all the life he can right now.
Yeah, so he knows that there are lightning bolts and chain lightnings potentially in his future.
And with the Vanillion Click, okay, he's going to take 3, go to 12, and land pass from Redo. The old bash and pass. That's what we used to call it.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that. That's neat.
It's pretty old, but we can bring it back. We can bring back the bash and pass. We got some cards off camera. I can guess what I think that is.
That's shameful.
I'm going to say that it is...
Scavenging Ooze.
Ooh, Scavenging
Because it's got the whole green activation just at the first thing.
Oh, I don't see this on his deck list. Oh, it's in the main deck.
Yep, he had one main deck.
Wow.
Yep.
This is the new main deck Relic of Progenitus, basically. He likes to nibble on the remains of noble hierarchs and such. Is it just creature cards or can it be anything?
Ew. See, I have not played with Scavenging Ooze.
Now, when this card first came out, there was a lot of hype about it going in Legacy decks as a one of, and I'd like to think that
Just card.
yeah, it gets to
Yep.
eat any card. I think it also gets bigger when it does
Exile?
that.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a creature card.
If it's a creature, it gets bigger.
That's the bit that counts.
So this turns out to be a creature that's, it's a creature, and it does something that you really want. That a role that a lot of artifacts have, held, and having it being on the body, being 6-3 Sun Zenith for it, it can block. It can do a lot of things that, a one cast that costs a 0 cast that costs artifact can't really do for you.
Right now, there's one creature in Reed's graveyard, a Noble Hierarch. You also see the Flame Slash, Lightning Bolt, Fire Blast.
You're 12, right?
I think that click pretty much committed to combat. I don't know that it's going to stay back. Reed has to win the game before Caleb
the use
Durward
gets
draws
silly.
2 lightning bolts, or the board
Sure.
gets really crazy. I know I'm at 6 life and I'm playing defense, but I can't sit here forever because
Well,
my life
apparently
is too
he
low.
isn't playing defense. He's playing. I have to go for it.
No, he's playing defense. Tomagorf is great at attack. Tomagorf likes to get into the red zone, but that guy, he's got a job. He has to stay back, play defense, while Redo can try to deal as much damage comfortably.
The thing is, without the Tarmogoyf, he's very likely dead because Caleb's up to 6 cards in the graveyard. Oh!
And there we go.
Hello!
Out of nowhere.
Natural Order Progenitus.
We sack a Dryad Arbor. I believe the second one because he has one in his main deck and he has one in his sideboard, so he must have brought it in because his first Dryad Arbor got Lightning Bolt and he's sitting in his exile from the Relic of Genesis application.
So Caleb now is busy doing his thing with Scavenging Ooze, gets rid of both creatures that were in Reed's graveyard.
Right. And now look at the timing. How many attacks does it take for Reed Duke to win this game?
7?
Lower.
1?
Yes.
Oh, I got it right second time. That's pretty good for me.
Usually the first guess doesn't count.
Bargain. It's like a free mulligan. Super.
So Brainstorm gets 1 Lightning Bolt. Wow. Look at this. The oozes are 3/3? Or
Yes.
the Nimble Mongooses are currently 1/1s.
Yep, but won't be.
6 cards in the graveyard. Lightning Bolt has one of the cards from Brainstorm. So
Puts him to 2.
yeah, so all in plus Lightning Bolt.
And then 7.
Lightning Bolt before combat damage, that's going to be enough.
Nick, short.
Should
Nick,
be.
short to the main stage, please. Nick, short to the main stage, please.
This is what I think.
Oh, the Brainstorm goes
that's
in
right,
2v7.
Yeah, so there's 7.
Here I come.
Here's all my 3/3s. What he blocked 2 of them.
I tell you, that Vendilion click attacking.
Always wrong. always wrong. No, I think Duke has to try to win.
Lightning bolts.
I think that's
Any
lightning bolts.
possible answers? There's only one card.
Yeah, head
and
scratch.
there's the hand. Kellogg goes, and he gets to join the Facebook group.
He does.
I beat.
I beat her.
Is it I killed Progenitus or I beat Progenitus?
It might be I beat